What's up, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Broke Boy Kitchen. On today's episode, we're gonna be learning how to make some stir-fried vegetables. And the reason is because most of y'all probably need a little bit more vegetables in your life.
Broke boys and broke girls.
When I was a young, struggling college student, one thing that I struggled with is actually creating flavorful meals and creating something that was actually enjoyable. I would just kind of like throw something together and it was edible. I think a big misconception that a lot of people have is in order for your food to be healthy, it has to be freaking bland. And I don't think that's true. I feel like part of living healthy is enjoying yourself and enjoying your meals. So today we're gonna be cooking up some Bok Choy. And I know like I've definitely had some bland, like just steamed Bok Choy, and it wasn't enjoyable. But when you add some sauce to it, and you add a little flavor, it becomes something that you truly enjoy. So we're gonna start off by cutting up our Bok Choy. Alright, so something that you guys want to know about bok choy and just any vegetable that grows like that is a lot of dirt gets stuck in there. So we want to wash this really good, or else when you're eating it, you're going to have this slight like dirty taste to it. So let's go ahead and wash this. Trick that my wife actually taught me is to massage your vegetables around and then pick it up and just transfer it to another bowl. This might seem super obvious to some people, but what happens is you get the dirt kind of settling to the bottom, and when you just pour into another bowl, then that dirt kind of just goes on top of it. So if you notice, that was some dirty water. Do this a couple times, especially if you want to have clean vegetables. Go back and forth maybe 3 times. Alright, you guys, for this recipe we have a couple really basic ingredients. The first one is garlic. Garlic is something that is super essential for flavor. Almost every good recipe I could even think of always has garlic. So if you want it to taste good, have some garlic. We're gonna be using some oyster sauce. It's gonna be more Asian flavor, and we need some sugar just to kind of balance that flavor. And over here, I just grabbed a bunch of items that we could also use. You could use one of them, or you could use all of them if you really want something kind of crazy. But we have this vegetarian seasoning. It's like a mushroom seasoning. We have soy sauce. We have fish sauce. We have this Maggi seasoning. We have salt if you want to be super basic, and we have Worcestershire sauce. Honestly, you could use any of these. What actually really helped me when I was trying to learn how to cook is just to see these as salt. So if you want it more salty, you put more of this. You want it less salty, you put less. And the cool part about all of these, except for salt, is they are salty and they have a flavor that comes with it. So honestly, if you want to mix them up, go ahead. So to start, we're just gonna throw like a spoonful of sugar in there, mix it up. And honestly, once you guys get good at this, you don't have to pre-mix it. You could just do it all in the skillet. But we're gonna do this because I want you guys to learn how to kind of be able to taste the flavor, okay? So mix this up, dissolve the sugar. If it's not fully dissolved, it's all good, but mostly dissolved. Okay, and then we're gonna throw some Worcestershire sauce. On your first time, you should probably measure it. So maybe like 2 spoons of it. And the reason why I'm not being exact is because I feel like a big part of learning how to cook is actually just being able to experiment and taste stuff. You can follow recipes all you want, but if you don't ever learn how to actually taste it, then honestly your food is never gonna be good. So Mix this in, and now I'm gonna add a little bit of fish sauce. I'm gonna add a little bit of soy sauce. Maybe a little more. And then I'm gonna taste it. And this is the hard part, because if you've never made this, you don't have a reference point. But basically you want to find something that tastes good to you. And if you need to go out to like an Asian restaurant and order this, and you compare it to that. But you basically want it to taste good. If it tastes kind of funky, like right now it's a little bit too sweet. Let's get interesting. I'm gonna add some of this mushroom seasoning. And again, once you get good at this, you literally just gonna do this all in the pan. You don't have to pre-mix it. But it does help to kind of like make this sauce taste, because then your cooking will be a little bit less foolproof. So the next thing we have to do is actually cut some garlic up. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, you could literally just smash this garlic, but grab like a handful. This is like 10 cloves of garlic. If you really like garlic, you can put more or less, it's up to you. And for this recipe, we're just literally gonna smash it like that and put it to the side. Smash, boom, smash, boom. Just be careful, because sometimes when you smash it, it'll backfire and splatter all over the place. So if you have a bigger knife, even bigger than this, you'll be safer. You could even just like, bop! Those of you who grew up watching Yan Can cook, you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so now we have our garlic. The last thing is, I want to add a little bit of spice to it. If you want a lot of spice, then you could get a bunch of peppers. But I don't know if I have that much peppers. So I'm going to take you guys to my garden. And some birds freaking pooped on my slippers. Welcome to my garden. I have lots of cucumbers out here, and tomatoes, and lots of other stuff, but not that many peppers. So I have a bunch of different pepper plants. These ones are still small. I think the only ripe one is this crazy black one. So let me just pick this. This is a black cobra pepper. It is very spicy and scary. So if you can't handle spice, don't put too many peppers. All right, and for this, you have a couple options. You could chop it up, throw it in there. But if you do that, that kind of makes the spice everywhere. And like, say you can't handle it, you're out of luck. So if you want to just kind of just infuse it with the flavor, you could just take it and same thing, smash it and throw it in your sauce. It'll make it a little bit more mild, but still have that pepper flavor. And next, we are here ready to cook. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my flame. Get the flame on. I have a wok, but you don't need a wok. You just need some type of pan that could, fit all that stuff. We're gonna start off by turning on our fan so that we don't cause a fire alarm to go off. We're just gonna take this oil, and we're gonna just kind of put a little bit of oil on the bottom of the pan. Don't be afraid of oil, because oil is one of the things that really helps you develop the flavors, and it also just makes things taste better. So use a little bit of oil. Don't go crazy with it, but use some. And once it feels like there's some heat there, then we are ready to throw in our garlic. I have this fancy butcher knife. I'm gonna transfer all this garlic. And that's what we want to hear, nice little. So at this point, we don't want to burn the garlic, so don't put it at too high of a heat. Have it like a medium heat. And basically, we just want to like brown the garlic, make it nice and golden brown. Don't overcook it. Some recipes like this will just put the garlic into the sauce that we made, which is also a possibility. But when you cook the garlic a little bit, it tends to open up the flavor, makes it, makes your house smell good, all that stuff. All right, and now that our garlic is starting to look nice and golden brown, we are gonna go ahead and add our bok choy. Our bok choy is right here. We're just gonna and right away, we're just gonna get our sauce, and we're just gonna pour our beautiful sauce all up in the mix. You don't need to be careful of where your pepper is right now, but when you're eating it, you might want to be careful. But once you have this, you kind of want to mix it around, like get the flavor, get the sauce on everything. You don't have to be too crazy with it because as it's cooked, it's gonna kind of simmer down. But you do want to have that flavor on everything. Every once in a while, give it a nice little stir. Bring the vegetables on the bottom to the top. Make sure everything's getting cooked. Like I mentioned earlier, you could have literally done this all on the spot. Throwing the garlic in, throw the sauces in, throw the water in, all that stuff. But the reason why I wanted you guys to make that sauce is so that you guys have a good reference point. You guys know what you're actually putting in. You're not just like guessing. When you taste what you're making along the way, it makes your outcome a little bit more secure, right? If you just guess, then you kind of sometimes don't know. Make sure you guys taste your food. All right, and here we are. We have our vegetables fully cooked. Some people like this a little bit crunchy. I personally like it cooked down a little bit more, just like this, so it's softer to eat. But that is just a personal preference. So it's up to you how long you want to cook it. Just kind of be aware of the stage that it's at. So before we eat this, I'm just gonna taste. I'm trying to find a little baby one. First, I'll taste the sauce. It's good. It's like that. The pepper added a nice spice to it. The garlic gives it a nice aroma. Before the garlic and the pepper, it was a little bit like stanky and a little bit sweet. But the pepper and the garlic really balance it. So here's the Bok Choy. Woo. Don't eat things that are too hot, too. And there you have it. That is freaking good. I have impressed myself. Just like a restaurant. See, in your own kitchen. This stuff's so easy, you don't really need to know how to cook, right? Just throw some stuff together. I think that took me 10 minutes, right? And that's because I was talking to this camera. So here we have it, baby Bok Choy, straight from your kitchen to your mouth. Easy to do, you don't need a lot of skills to do it. And slowly but surely, you are becoming an amazing chef yourself. So again, I wanted to leave you guys with this. A big part of cooking is learning about what tastes good and what doesn't. So a big part of cooking is actually just trying different foods, like whether it's trying food that your family members make or at a restaurant or whatever it is. Learn what tastes good to you and take it home and make it yourself, because honestly this is a much more affordable way. That Bok Choy that I used just now was $1. The garlic I used, that whole container, was $3 and I used a handful of it. So if you think about it, this is a really cheap dish to make. You can substitute this vegetable with any other vegetable that you like. And you can also substitute some of these salty ingredients with other salty ingredients, all right? I hope you guys enjoy this video, and for more videos like this, make sure you guys press subscribe, like, and definitely leave me a comment about something that you guys want to see next. If you guys follow me on Instagram at bboyvincanity, I cook a lot of stuff at home. I like to try new things. I like to go out and discover new foods, usually cheap foods. It's just like a small hobby of mine, but for me, it's really fun because I get to learn how to make stuff that I like to eat. And I think that's just an important part of learning how to cook stuff that you like eating. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.